There were some people at the protest who were counter protesters who were definitely racist, who were actively screaming out racial slurs. And then there was truly another faction of people who didn't want, was kind of swiping at shadows ultimately, but they were trying to protect the downtown from being burned down by Antifa. And they truly believed that that was going to happen. The problem was that there was a lot of initial pushback. What happened at, I think it was like the second or third meeting, is that we went live and were basically infiltrated by a bunch of people who were shouting racial obscenities. There was a guy who was naked. There was some hesitancy from the actual chamber board to meet because of what that would signal to the rest of the community. Their concern was that by meeting with the task force, that would mean that would be an admission that the community is racist. The task force was doing their best to try to say, there is racism within the community, not a community that's fully racist. As he was walking over, I noticed that he had quite a big stone. It was like about this big. He said things like, so I guess you think that we're all racist, huh? And, I know that you're giving, you're spreading AIDS in the community. He said that, you must think that you're Jesus coming to save everybody. I'm here, so you know why I'm here. I'm here to stone you. And he had a stone. So before I start on this presentation, though, I want to just talk about something that just happened in this chamber. I just want to start the meeting off kind of pointing to you that just having a conversation, a simple conversation about racism in our community, is gaining that level of violence, that threat of violence.
If that is not enough to motivate you, to open your eyes and see that we have a problem, what will? I'm shaking. Why aren't you? Why aren't you furious that he was attacked like that coming into this building?
I don't understand, because it was a credible threat, and the chief seemed to be watching it happen. Like, I struggle with the idea that it wasn't bias at all. That it just was too premeditated. Perhaps if those things were treated, there wouldn't be the level of paranoia that he had. The mind of a man who's willing to stone me, that's not a healthy mind. It seemed like I had just become such a lightning rod for controversy that I felt like more and more that people are withdrawing and putting distance between me and them because of my association with the equity task force, that I read that as the writing on the walls that I needed to move on. So I just felt like, in some ways, it feels like I feel like I got ran out of town, basically. And that was rough.